Hello everyone, let's go ahead and get started with unboxing and putting together these machines. I wanted to share more step by step in this video, you guys. Since this is kind of like more of a serious nature, you have to be very careful in using a machine like this. But once I make clear the initial point, some of the video clips or parts of this video will be fast forwarded. This machine is pretty well packed. In fact, the styrofoam in the inside of the machine is pretty simple to take out. To remove the back styrofoam piece, you have to actually follow that bar on the top, and then at the end there's a barrel. Roll that towards you. It will then remove the laser and the bar, and then you can easily remove that last styrofoam sheet. Next, we're going to attach the hose. Now, they provide a wrench, and what you're going to do is remove the nuts, all 4 of them, and put them to the side because you're going to use them. Oops, I should note that I hadn't yet taken everything out of the supply box or accessory box. So obviously that is a flathead screwdriver and not a wrench. So I'm taking everything out. Small wrench is in this package here, along with oils and some other things that you use, a level and whatnot. The level is for, I believe, when you're attaching the rotary part. That's the antenna right there. And I do believe I will have these laid out later. But we're trying to get to the actual housing for the hose right now, which is the last thing, along with a clamp. At last, yay! You guys, so I have a little bit of a challenge because I have a little bit of nails, and it was just enough to have me have an issue taking off those bolts. This wasn't tight, I just couldn't get a good grip on them. So I went on ahead and got a 5/16 size socket wrench, or is it socket or ratchet? I think it's a socket wrench. Anyways, I use that to remove the nuts. Okay, bolts off. Now to attach the hose. To attach the exhaust hose connector, we're going to use those same small nuts to attach it, and then we're going to go ahead and loosen up that clamp to attach the hose. Be sure not to overly tighten. That exhaust hose attachment is plastic. I'm not sure if anyone else will encounter this issue. It's not really an issue, it's just an oversight. However, the box that initially, when I opened up, had the other accessories to it, I was not aware that there was something else underneath it at first, until I got to the hose attachment part, and I was like, wait a minute, where is the hose? And it wasn't until I actually used the screwdriver, the flathead screwdriver, to pop up those little flaps. And when I say this stuff is packed pretty tight, it's tight, because I literally could not pull it up with my finger. So I used the screwdriver to actually lift open those flaps. To my surprise, I found the actual hose. Wait a minute. On the other side was the actual power cord. So just be aware. Next, I'll remove the wires on the hose so I can get it attached. Using the flathead screwdriver that they supplied, I am going to tighten the clamp. Now again, the housing is plastic, so make sure you don't go overboard and crack it, but you do want to get it really nice, tight, and snug so that no air or smoke or fumes, etc. will escape. So the air assist tube went on without a hitch, and I would like to also add that I use labels so that if any time I detach my equipment and have to move it to another location, I can do it more fluidly, especially if I can't find the manual. Actually has little feet on it, so I'm assuming wherever you set it at, it's going to be set like so. Now on the other end is this little receiver end, or whatever you want to call it, that you're going to slip this hose right over it. You're going to slip the hose right over it, and it should fit right over it. Now some people have said that theirs didn't slide right over it. Mine did. It's the size that it needs to be, plus it's a softer rubber. It goes right over the top. Next, we're going to attach the power supply cord on the air assist set. And if you see, there's like going to be a little sheath that you are going to screw on, and at the bottom of the inlet is a little groove that you're just going to line up, and then you just screw it right on. Now for the attachment of the Wi-Fi antenna. Next, we're instructed to install the bottom tray. It's very simple to do, but yet very important. I deleted this clip at first because I thought, it's just too much. But then I thought, no, someone may not be aware. So make sure when you install your tray to push it all the way in so that you do not see all the way through to the bottom of the floor or whatever your surface is on that laser machine. Now I'm going to install the grates. Now it's stated to install or insert them with the screws facing up, though there are no screws. So I think they mean these little circular indentations facing up. I'm giving you guys a disclaimer. So in order to install that second grate, you have to turn the machine on. And the noise that it gave out kind of surprised me, and it was heard that it surprised me a little bit, so I tried to bleep it, sorry. Some may feel like it's something wrong because you can't install the second grate, but the instructions actually note for you to turn or power the machine on, and then the laser head and bar will move out of the way to allow you to insert that second grate. Okay, so to power it on, you see the blue light, and I think you just have to press it down, and then you touch the button in front. Okay, so once you plug it up and you turn the power, the main power on the back, it will let out a beep, and then it will rise up, which it did, and that allows you to actually install your grate. So I'm just going to go ahead and install the grates and put the first one in. Oh, I guess I made a liar out of me because I couldn't see, but it does go end to end. Here, it didn't look like it at first when you were trying to put them in. So there you go. Let's go to the next step. Well, I said let's go to the next step, but as you have it, that's it. The next part is for your software installation. Well, what's next for me is to install the air purifier. I just want to clarify, I received this as a Christmas gift from Hubs. Let's go ahead and get to the installation, which is pretty cut and dry. And by the way, they packed this much like they did the laser. It was well secured and well protected. So in the air filter machine, you have 3 different types of filters. I received an extra 2 of the first layer, which is also known as the pre-filter. The second layer and the main filter you will have to replace on your own when it comes time to replace those. And they do recommend a time frame at which you should replace your filters. Now, with the exception of the other attachments that came with the air purifier, I just kept the original hose that I attached to the laser on because they're one and the same that's provided with the air purifier. So I just considered that I had an extra. In the manual, it also states, in conjunction with following the recommended time to change your filters, that it will also, the machine, sound off an alarm when it's time to change the filters. And it also states for you to keep your packaging. That's not just for if you have to return it, not only for that, but they recommend that you use that exact same packaging if you find that you have to move and you want to safely secure your machines from passage to one location to the next. Installing the hose on the actual air filter is very much the same or very much similar as you did on the actual laser machine. It just has this added bamboo pipe sleeve attachment. See the next clip. So I'm going to slide on it. It just slides right into place, that bamboo pipe sleeve, and then I'm going to put my hose over it, and then I'm going to add my clamp. And for time's sake purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and speed that up. Now we're just going to go ahead and attach it on here. Here you see the final, I have everything unplugged, but the final hose attachment. You see that it's nice and snug from the actual air purifier. Everything is turned off, you guys. And it does state to have nice, smooth, angular curves instead of sharp turns, or you want it as close as possible. So my machine is only like probably less than 2 feet from each other as far as the holes, because it says the closer or the shorter the holes, the more efficient these machines will work as far as the air extractor. So, okay, everything is nice and snug. Gasket touching and sealed really well. Everything is on there really well. Okay. They do provide you these little 3M zip cord little attachments that you can put, I'm assuming, onto the back of some type of surface or wall or whatever to make your cords more secure if you don't want them in an area where your cords are on the floor or something to that nature. Right now, my machines are in a temporary spot. Once I figure out that permanent place for my engraver, I will then use those zip ties. Okay, so at the end here, just like your WeCreat engraver, this has the main power switch on the back of it as well. Once you plug it in, that light will go green. If you can tell, it's green. After powering the air filter on, it was already at the max flow. So some people make mention of it being loud. You might just want to turn your flow down. I don't think it indicates that you have to have it at the max flow. I think you want to match with whichever type of project that you're doing. But not every project you will need to have it at the max flow. I found that at the lowest or near the lowest flow for the air filter, I could have a normal conversation and we could hear each other. Another mention about the hose is that it has like the feel of maybe like duct tape or a medium grade tarp. So you do want to be careful when you are attaching those clamps. They are metal, and if you go too tight, it's possible you might kind of slice through it. Be sure to remove the protective film. It is on top of the lid, and then it's also underside the lid on the actual light bar near where the camera is. Before using your machine, it does suggest that you go through a series of alignments and calibrations, because during shipping some things can get misaligned. I also received the rotary attachment and the infrared attachment on this machine. I am first going to get myself acclimated to using the laser first. Here is my setup all together. The added thing that I would like to mention is when you do attach your hose, and I might have mentioned it before, so excuse me if I have, to make sure that you have no sharp angles, that the hose is actually smooth and as close in proximity to the laser as possible. That maximizes the performance of the machines. And just to reiterate, you want to make sure you get a good seal on your hose when you're attaching it, but be warned not to overly tighten it because it is a plastic housing and you can crack it. I definitely implore anyone to just simply follow the manufacturer's instructions, but if you are a visual learner as well as myself, it helps to see someone actually go through the process. I hope you enjoyed seeing me unboxing and installing my WeCreat Vision laser engraving and cutting machine and the WeCreat air purifier. You guys take care, stay safe as possible, and seek your peace out every day. And there you go. Happy New Year.